Everybody, Dr. Michael here with Valiant Physical Therapy, where I specialize in working with runners here in Evanston, Illinois. And one of my favorite parts about being a physical therapist, and one of the most enjoyable things that I get to do when working with a patient, is to help them sift through all the crap that's online about whatever they looked up and whatever they think their issue is for their pain point. I get a lot of people that come to me and they say, hey, I have insert diagnosis here, and I've been trying to do these things that are online, and here's where I'm running into problems. And a lot of times I'll start just listening to the history of the patient. I'll start to see what they're capable of, what exercises they're trying, what results they're getting. And I can kind of put together some of the pieces and see some patterns and say, okay, well, I think we're going to do less of this, we're going to do more of this, and we're going to work towards this. And it's actually really enjoyable and fun for me to kind of go through that process. And I'm making this video to emphasize sometimes how important it is to enlist a healthcare professional, especially one that specializes in whatever your sport is or specializes in whatever your issue is, because they can really help clear the fog of what's going on and just provide some clarity in terms of what you need to do to rehab your injury. So, for example, I was working with a lady a couple weeks ago, a new evaluation, and she's telling me, hey, I think I have some posterior tibialis tendonitis. Okay, so she's on the table, she's telling me her history, and we're going through some tests of her ankle, and it just quite isn't looking like posterior tibialis tendonitis. I had her jump, and that was very painful, and it was very point tender at the navicular, and then I poked the navicular, and she's like, oh, that's painful right there, and that's my spot. And I'm like, okay, I don't think you have posterior tibialis tendonitis, which is something that she found online, no fault of her own, but that's just kind of what, the internet guided her towards. I don't think you have posterior tibialis tendonitis. I think you have a navicular stress reaction, and I want you to get some crutches and go get an MRI on this foot. And lo and behold, she gets an MRI, and she has a stress reaction. Okay, so that's a really good example of someone who is trying to self-diagnose their issue, and no fault of their own. Everyone's trying to, help their own situation. So you go to Google, you go to the internet, you type in your symptoms, and then you just kind of end up somewhere, and then you try to treat it in that way. And if it's not really helpful, then you can start to really just get confused, and you make some assumptions, and you're trying this exercise, you're trying this, that, and the next thing, and you end up in a position where you're more confused than when you started, and you're kind of lost, and you still have pain. So it's important to enlist someone that can help you sift through all that information, provide some clarity, and really lay out a good rehab plan that has your goals in mind and can help you with your specific problem. So that's what I do every day. I'm a physical therapist. I'm here in Evanston, Illinois, and I specialize in working with runners. If you have a running related problem, click the link in the description of this video, or go to valiantphysicaltherapy.com, schedule a free discovery phone call with myself, and we can work on creating a customized, tailored plan to help you get back to running or doing whatever you love. If you like this video, give it a like, drop any questions in the comments, and send this video over to someone who you think might need to hear the message from this video. And thanks for watching.